Do you believe that you're not smart, you're not intelligent, and that there's way more people out there that are way more intelligent than you? I disagree with this premise. I disagree that intelligence is something we're born with, it's innate, because I have a personal testament that I grew up kindergarten through sixth grade, a very average BC student. And I grew up in a small town of 1,000 people in Kansas. It's in the heart of America, in a very small town removed from pretty much, it was a tiny remote village in today's standards. And the greatest, grandest stage in that town was the valedictory speech. Everyone in the town came to the high school gymnasium to watch the high school graduates graduate, and the valedictorian stood out among all. He gave a speech about hope and optimism in the future. And I wanted to be that guy so bad. And so I worked my little tail off. I just decided in 7th and 8th grade, which those grades didn't matter because it's just 9th through 12th grade to become valedictorian, I was going to get all A's. And somehow, miraculously, from 7th grade all the way through 12th, I got all A's. So if intelligence was something that I was innately born with, then I could have never achieved that milestone. How did I become the most intelligent kid in my high school and be the only kid that finished and completed the entire Kansas Boards of Regents curriculum, which is above the required coursework to graduate high school? So I took all the hardest classes and got the best grades. Was it because I was extremely intelligent? I think we all are. And so this is AP talking about intelligence. And I really want to hear what his premise is around what intelligence is and how it might be misperceived and how you can unlock your own intelligence, your own potential intellectually to create a better quality of life. Let's take a look. This is my reaction series. I'm Cody. Thank you so much for being here.
Ashish has raised a very relevant question. And I'm pretty sure this question belongs to many more of us. He is asking that till now we have used the word intelligence in a very particular way. The one who is able to solve problems in mathematics, we call him intelligent. The one who is able to crack entrance exams, we call him intelligent. Right? Such things. The one who scores high on IQ tests, we call him intelligent. Oh, 140, very intelligent. Ashish, these are very limited expressions of intelligence.
Beautiful.
These are very, very limited expressions of intelligence. Intelligence is not a skill. Intelligence is not something that you gather with time. Intelligence is not concentration. If you practice solving particular type of questions for a long period of time, for 2 years, for 3 years, you will become very skillful at solving those questions. That is not intelligence. You become resolute that I want to clear a particular entrance exam that tests me in mathematics, physics, chemistry. And you know what kind of questions are asked. And you start practicing those questions and you keep practicing, and ultimately you will find that you are doing well. This is not intelligence. Please get rid of this confusion. This is not intelligence. This is just skill. There was this saint who had said, रसरी आवत जाते तो प्रैक्टिस करत करते दिमाग पर पड़त निशान. This is not intelligence. This is just repetition and repetition and repetition. And you have repeated the thing so many times that now you can do the task in less time without worrying, in a particular way which you call as the correct way. In some sense, you have conditioned yourself, you have programmed yourself like a computer. The moment this kind of question comes in front of me, I start solving it in this way. You have programmed yourself. This is not intelligence. This is just skill. It takes something to develop that skill. I'm not berating it. But I want to clear the point that this is not what we mean by intelligence. Intelligence is the capacity to observe yourself. What is it? Intelligence is the capacity to observe yourself. That is what is intelligence. Is this clear? Very, very simple thing. Intelligence is not about replying to a question. Intelligence is about knowing what is happening in your mind when you are listening to that question, being alert to that. Intelligence is that which observes everything and hence remains untouched by anything. I know what is happening. I am observing it. This is intelligence. A highly intelligent person may actually not get a very high IQ score, because your IQ score is again testing you on certain specific skills. You may be doing very, very good in an IQ test, but in life you would be an utter failure. It is quite possible. But a really intelligent man would always be joyful, would always be free in life. He would be the one who would have really lived life. A high IQ.
So I want to be able to touch base with what he's talked about, and so I don't want to miss a couple things. But one, intelligence is being aware of what's going on in yourself. It's an awareness of how you're working and operating. And the reason I like this so much is because when I was in 6th grade, I was really low on life. I was really confused as a kid. I was very overweight. I was very average in every conceivable way. And I love sports. It was a great outlet for me. And I was playing basketball on the 6th grade team at the time. And during that era, I don't know what they do today, but we played shirts versus skins, where the starters took off their shirts and the other team kept theirs on. And that's how you knew which team you were on when we practiced. However, taking off my shirt was probably the most humiliating thing I could do. I wouldn't even go to the city pool without a shirt on. I would not take it off. And that's how ashamed I was of my physical body. And I quit 6th grade basketball because I didn't want to do that in front of the 6th grade girls. They practiced after us, and they were always in the bleachers waiting for us to finish, and it was just humiliating. So I quit the absolutely one thing I loved because I was ashamed of who I was. And I know anyone can relate to that story, even if it was in your childhood or maybe it's today as an adult. You don't feel adequate. And that was a defining moment for me, and I believe that we reach these chapters in our lives that help redefine us, to help us know what we want. I knew what I didn't want to be, but I didn't know what I wanted to be. And so it was during that time, sitting out, I would actually go to the next couple practices because I wanted to be around the team, but I wouldn't practice. And one time I just went outside the school building. Practice were in the evening. It was dark. And I just sat on the side of the building and cried because I wanted to be more. And I just decided I knew what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a WWE wrestler. Not literally, but metaphorically. I wanted to look like one. I don't know about you guys, but I grew up in the 90s. And so WWE, WCW, WWF wrestling was like this really incredible thing. All the kids loved it. And I was the family that bought the pay-per-view match, and all the kids would come over and we'd have a pay-per-view party. And it was one of the most awesome things growing up as a kid. But I wanted to look like those guys. I didn't know they took steroids. And I became a 6'4", 250-pound behemoth. All natural, no chemicals. I became the valedictorian of my high school when I was not remotely good at school. And I knew that to become popular, I wanted to become a great athlete too. So I became a first-team All-State Kansas basketball player. There's only 5 in the state. So how did I unlock all this stuff? Well, I believe that I was aware of what I didn't want to be, and I created a blueprint of what I wanted to be in the future, and I started emulating that person that I wanted to become. I started training like him, acting like him, behaving like him. And a lot of it was make-believe in the beginning, like maybe 2% belief. But that's all you need. That's all you need because you have to have the courage. See, we don't even have the courage to even contemplate a new identity because we're so stuck in our own programming that it could never be possible. And so I believe intelligence is what I emulated. An intelligence that we can become infinite potentials, infinite outcomes. And it's not this specialness in someone. We all have the same hardware, the same human mind. And so that means that any one of us can use our mental faculties to, like you said, build skill and mastery in certain things. Now, another thing that I'm working on is the second thing that he mentioned, which is to find joy in every moment, to not be bogged down by anything that happens out there in reality. I have a lot of that. And there's been chapters in my life where I had much more and much less. And so this is the journey that I'm on, where I want to be untainted by the filth of reality. I don't want to be bogged down by anyone else's misery, discomfort, paranoia, fear, or low quality of life. I want to be unburdened by the seriousness that everyone has around me. I want to be lightened and enlightened. I want to be able to walk through every single day with grace, humility, and big aura energy, this aliveness within, that I can walk through hell even with a smile. And I believe that our intelligence, our sophistication, that we have the potential through inner engineering to reach a state, this state. Because I've seen it, I've been there, but I oscillate out of it often. And so just like any skill that I'm trying to master, I put my intelligence, my awareness into this process. I want to know where my mind's getting hung up on. I want to know why my mind freaks. I want to pay attention to it and not be bothered by it. It's my mind. It's not me. I am in control of my mind. And so when I know that when my mind freaks or tips or goes a direction that I don't want it to, if I pretend that's me or I get too attached to it, I lose. And so this detachment that he's talking about is wisdom, some of the deepest wisdom there is. But you also have to experience it. And so how I experience this is I always see that life is an artifact. It's old news. It feels current and it feels real. But it's an artifact of your mind, of who you've been. And so things tend to show up. Your focal points are based upon your primal self-identity. And so you're going to see life reflected through that self-identity. You think you're bullied and picked on everywhere you go? You'll be bullied and picked on everywhere you go. You feel like that everyone admires and respects you and wants a piece of you, and I say that in effect that they want to get to know you, get to talk to you, you're going to see that. I feel like life reflects our expectations. And that's why I feel that it's vital. So important to have a vision for your life. Otherwise, we drift. We drift and we don't hone in. And we don't obsess over the outcomes that we want to orchestrate in our life. And life gets sloppy and messy without intrinsic goals and dreams and ambitions. Remember, you don't need any of these things to feel fully alive, I suppose. But you need heart. You need a lot of heart in life, because heart can get through anything. Heart can get through the most terrible events, the biggest struggles to try to make something of yourself. You are willing to get in the trenches and learn and grow and persevere because you have so much heart. You just feel that it's all leading to something extraordinary. And it's hard to keep a man down like that. So let's get out of the clouds and get back into heart. Can we develop more heart in 2025? Can we develop a bit more desire to fulfill our prophecy of becoming an enlightened being, an enlightened man that isn't bogged down by the misery of most modern men? Can we overcome our self-induced psychological suffering? That's all man-made, orchestrated. Suffering and pain are two very distinct things. You need pain in life. I did back day 2 days ago, and right here on my bicep to my forearm is excruciating painful. It actually hurts to extend my arm because it's extremely painful. But I gave maximum effort in that workout. It was extremely painful. But as I go through this pain there in the gym and today and yesterday, these things are going to come back stronger, bigger, more powerful. That is pain. I love it. I love that you go through mental pain when you try to grow out of your normal programming, your normal bubble of comfort. Yeah, it's tough. It's extremely painful, but it's worth it. It's worth it. And I do hope that this message somehow ignites you. It helps you reclaim your inner spark again, that thing that society has banished from within us. That's your power. Your aliveness is your power. Do not let anything take that away from you. The opinions of others, your current reality or circumstances. You can forge through anything with an inner fire, that inner spark. That's your aliveness. And I truly hope that you don't let the world distinguish your inner flame, because then you're already half dead. You're already half alive. And there's so many people zombied out, half alive, running away from any awareness in themselves, distracting themselves from any opportunity to be in control again. I hope this message helps. And if it does, please consider giving this video a like and leaving a comment in a way that it did help you. So that way, the algorithm pushes this video out to many other people who could use this important message, a message of hope and opportunity and divine coordinates in your life and in your body, in your mind, to reach a state of equilibrium where you feel confident again. Confidence is really just not caring about the opinion of other people. Confidence is not needing to explain yourself. Confidence is dancing in your own radiance, not distorted by how others might react to you, because you feel alive and juicy in life when so many others are hurting and suffering. They may hate it in the moment, but that night they might reflect on it and go, I want what that guy has. An appreciation for life, a quality within himself, a leadership within himself to overcome his weaknesses and to blueprint a reality that he is proud of. I want you to be proud of yourself. And it all starts with finding that fire again, finding that aliveness again, and giving your all. And never listening to your emotions. They're only there to serve you, to protect you for the most part. they don't want to do the hard things. They don't want to go through that pain in the gym. But I do. I'm not my emotions. I'm not my mind. They're tools that I use and I weaponize and I sharpen like a sword. I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't followed already, I'd appreciate that. Building community over here. And thank you so much to AP, who always gives such incredible wisdom. And I'm honored to be able to react to him. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care for now.